I am actually a somewhat true crime survivor, which I kind of don't talk about
Mm.
as much. My mother was murdered in front of me when I was 1 by my sperm donor, who then almost kidnapped me, but was stopped by his sister before he fled the scene. And so growing up, I received like age appropriate stories as I got older and like I got the full picture. By the time I went to undergrad, I was able to like fully research, and I wrote a paper about him because he was still in prison in Vegas because he is a murderer.
Mm.
He murdered a pimp in Vegas, he murdered a bartender, an elderly couple, but we didn't have the death penalty in
Wow.
California, so they had him in Vegas. Now he's in California because he was never actually held accountable for my mother's murder and still has yet to be. So, that was the beginning. Let's rewind it back. And I wanted to help women and children that were domestic violence survivors. I wanted to help people before they got to where my mother was. I wanted to help people before they didn't have a mother. I didn't grow up with my mother. I grew up with my grandparents. I grew up with her
Mhm.
parents. And so I grew up a Law and Order SVU child, like many of us. And I was like, well, clearly I have to be a detective. This is the only way I can help people. So I ended up going to undergrad for criminal justice. My third year of college, I was 21 and I was raped by someone that I had been with beforehand. I always like to say that I was raped versus sexually assaulted because I will say that I can legitimately account that I have been raped once, but I've been sexually assaulted more times than I can account for,
Mm.
which I also think is such a relatable thing for many of us in these bodies. People just feel like they can
Mhm.
touch us and verbally just it's crazy. And so I woke up, and this is also what I like to say is because the idea of sexual assault happens just when you're out or what are you wearing and all these I call them the bullshit W's,
Mm.
the who, what, when, where's,
I
why's.
love that. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, let me tell you. I was at home sleeping and I woke up and someone was standing over me naked with a condom on. And that is a story that I don't think most people talk
Oh.
about. Another part of that is I saw him after he raped me, which is a thing that is also very
Mhm.
common for sexual assault survivors. It's things that we don't talk about, is the things that I really want us to talk about. I want us to normalize that it isn't always clean, that it might happen again, that you might see this person, you might be questioning, was that rape? Was it something else? And from there, I spiraled. It looked like I was just the fun party girl who was drinking, dancing on tables, but it got to the point where I was carrying a bar in my trunk. And it was a
Mhm.
wild time until about 25, 26. And something in me was like, I have to change.